All right. Well, it's finally time. I promised you today would be the day that I would create the second part of the Faction Fight series. Now, today, as I've said before, today we will be doing. I feel like a fucking 7-year-old woman trying to read to a bunch of elementary kids. Oh God. The NC versus the UNSC. What would happen if both of these superpowers clashed heads? Who would win this hypothetical battle? Realistically, would win this hypothetical battle? Well, let's get to that, shall we? Now, here's the biggest thing that I found with all of this. I've done my research. I have done everything I can do to finally prepare myself, which is why it took the weekend rather than just one day. It took the whole weekend because I needed every single piece of information proper. And I now have every single piece of information properly. We shall continue. Numbers. Who wins in numerical superiority? This one, you would think, due to the UNSC's slight bit bigger population of 150%, you would think they have more soldiers. But you'd be wrong. It's actually the NC. In terms of military power, they have the largest military in their universe, in the Blood and Steel universe. Not only that, but their military is even bigger than the UNSC's. Already has the NC taken a fat dub. That's what I generally, you don't see that. Like, I've always tried getting that, but let me write this down. Because I need the UNSC and the NC have already won numbers. Now, equipment. This is going to be a big one, and this one already is going to go to the NC. Why? They're the second most technologically bound nation in their known galaxy. This is basically going to be the Covenant on steroids against the UNSC. This already goes equipment, which is a big one, will go to the NC again, comparing damage. You may think the NC would have an advantage, but it's actually not. It's the UNSC. It's the UNSC. Hoorah! But damage-wise, on average, the UNSC ships will do more damage than the NC counterparts. So the UNSC is finally taking a win. Let's see if they can keep it up. Cost efficiency. Oh, Lord. This is going to be a hard one. But I've actually found that this one is an equilibrium. Neither of them have the decisive factor to win over the cost efficiency because both of them are powerful nations. And considering both of them have spacefaring empires that counter over hundreds to thousands of worlds, there's really no way to tell whose weapons are going to be more costly efficient, even with all the other things that I could possibly add in. There's just no way I can perfectly calculate who's better. So this one I'm going to put as equilibrium. So both of them are going to get cost efficiency. That's the best way to do it because then all I have to do is at the end cross out the ones that are doubled twice and you get your number. So discipline. This one is just, there's no contest. The discipline between the UNSC and between the NC is not comparable. The UNSC takes the dub in this one, and it's because the Marine Corps and the Army, both of those have tough trained soldiers. Most people don't even know how tough they get trained. They don't have to physically draw not just their face, but their whole body almost a mile in dirt. Many Marines and Army men get dirt trapped underneath their eyelids because of how much they've been dragging their face on the ground. You so much as pull your head up a bit, they're going to force your head back down. Yeah. They're going to make you do another mile starting from when you pull your head up. Yeah, they don't fuck around. So the UNSC wins in discipline. Morale. Who's going to have the better morale? And as much as I want to say the UNSC, it's not. The UNSC at the point in time was destroying itself due to insurrectionist wars. So chances are they're not going to have better chances at morale. So morale goes to the NC. The X factor. This is going to be the most important thing in this matchup. Where it's fought and how it's fought is going to change everything. The environment. It matters where you fight. If you're fighting on worlds that do not like the UNSC, you're going to have a better chance at winning. But the moment you attack worlds like Tribute or many inter-colony worlds that support the UNSC more than dislike, you're going to have a lot of issues because most of those people support the UNSC. Weather is another one. You could literally fight a war in a typhoon or a hurricane, tornado, literally anything. So it's just a matter of what material or what unit can survive. This one I'm not going to put down on the chart because this is the only one that doesn't deserve to be put on the chart. This is such a different thing that one classification can literally determine the war's outcome. So this is why we are not put here. Maintenance. Oh, UNSC. Sorry, but comparison to the UNSC, the NC has the largest military. Its maintenance will automatically be higher. And due to the fact they have technology that is thousands of years more advanced, they're going to have high maintenance, period. So that's to me, that is not even a question. But what I'm about to discuss is the next two are going to determine a lot of this war. The losses, who wins in the long run, or who wins the war, period. Economy. Which one of the two have a stronger economy? And that answer is not as simple as I thought it was. I thought it would be the new coalition. Boy, was I wrong. Turns out the UNSC economy, when it was fighting the Covenant, was huge. To US dollars today, it was as much as 10 quintillion. Not quintillion. Quadrillion. That is, in terms of dollars, that's 3 times the economy of the United Planets. But the problem was that was when they were fighting the Covenant. I'm talking about when they're fighting the NC. Their economy is probably not going to get anywhere near that size. So, lucky for the new coalition, realistically, it's not going to get that size, but I'm only going to give it to the UNSC because it can get there. And if the people are motivated enough to fight against the NC, I think it will happen. I'm only giving it to the UNSC because it can happen. That is literally the only reason I'm giving it to them. So far, both sides have 2-star things. And what I'm about to do now is discuss possibly the tiebreaker. Resources. Which nation has more resources? And that answer is not the UNSC. Sure, the UNSC may have over 800 worlds under its disposal, but the NC itself has over 5,100 worlds designed and specifically used for mining and refining. That is over 6 times the amount of worlds than the UNSC has with people. There's no way the UNSC is tangling with that. No way. And resources goes again. Technological research. This was, again, a lot harder than I initially thought. Due to the constant way of how the NC does research, it's not as efficient as the UNSC's. You'd be surprised at what the UNSC can make in 20 years comparison to what the NC can make in 20 years. But surprise, surprise, the UNSC wins in tech research. I'm shocked. I learned that in 2 years, they created brand new Spartan armor. In 2 years for the NC, they were only a tenth of the way done for creating a brand new tank. How was that even compared? You have Spartan armor, which is probably going to cost you billions of credits to make, versus parts of a tank, which cost tens of millions. That's not even, there's no comparison. Oh yeah, by the way, Spartan armor is fucking expensive as hell. It costs like 5 billion credits to make, which their credits are about the same worth as US dollars. So it costs so much money to make those suits. It's ridiculous. It's like 2.8 billion credits for the BAS Galaxy. It's stupid. It's so stupid. Territory. The UNSC easily wins this one. As much as I'd hate to say it does, not every single world can be fought for with the NC. With the United Nations Space Command, it has more worlds to fight against and basically use as a barrier. You can't do that with worlds that are basically not populated. You can't do that. They could just fly right by them. You can't fly right by worlds that have defenses. They'll just blast your ass out of the sky. So territory goes this one, as I've said, will completely change the war. Industrial capacity. Who has the better industries of them all? Remember when I said that the UNSC has good economy and when it fights the Covenant? Well, that wasn't adding in the other part of the NC's economy, where going toe-to-toe with the United Planets, who, keep in mind, can outproduce the top 15 major powers combined. And they can go toe-to-toe. That's not good. When you know you can go toe-to-toe with the most super powerful country in your existence, the UNSC, sure, you're like, oh, well, maybe it can outproduce 5 times. Yeah, but here's the problem. The NC is multiple economically powerful worlds. It's not just one. It is 9. Basically, 9 Earths versions of economic strength. There's no way the UNSC in a long-term fight is going to win with an economic battle such as this. And not only that, but economics means there are cheaper goods in the NC. So not everything's going to be so expensive to produce, meaning everything's going to be cheaper. Inflating it to proper standards of the UNSC credit, their economy would be nearly 5 times the size of the UNSC's, even if the UNSC just decided to go full war mode. That's what I didn't add. And that is going to dictate who wins this war. I have my final conclusion putting in. In a long-term fight, the NC have the numbers, the equipment, the cost of, they have an equilibrium and cost efficiency. Cross that out. They have better morale, maintenance, resources, and industries. The UNSC has better damage, discipline, better economy, better tech research, and more territory. Who do I think is going to win this fight? Well, looking at the things that the UNSC and the NC, I say this is an oddball. This is going to be an oddball. My final verdict, I will say in chat. It is a tie. Let me explain my reasoning. Tech research. As much as you have the numbers, if you can't supply those numbers, sure, you've got the equipment, you've got the industries to supply that equipment. The problem is if all that's destroyed immediately. Even with the time it takes to build the equipment, the cost efficiency is going to kill them in the long run. In a long-term war, that would kill their military. The UNSC would be able to mass produce ships as they did in the Human Covenant War. They learned they could do that. Not only that, but with its discipline, their soldiers will not retreat unless they're told to. So they will stand and fight to the bitter end until they can't fight anymore. At the same time, they have territory that they can just simply give up. They have territory. They have people that can simply just be given up for the sake of the survival of the UNSC. The NC can't do that. The moment they lose a world, they're going to lose a massive chunk of their population. So the NC, if it is hit once with a massive decisive blow, it's going to be put out of the fight. I hope you guys know that. It's going to be put out of the fight. The moment it happens once, it's going to happen another time, and another, and before you know it, all 9 worlds are going to be out of business. It's just a matter of time. There is no time limit on this war. There is absolutely none. I am saying it is indecisive. I cannot determine which side could win this fight. It is that hard. I cannot determine, with everything I've been given, in terms of how much costs, the UNSC is going to be okay. But every single cost to the NC is going to end up killing a lot of people and possibly ruining jobs, which could really hamper the war effort. Maintenance, higher maintenance, and more resources doesn't always mean you're going to have better. It just means you're going to have high maintenance, and you're going to be able to maintain a larger military. Means, if they had the numbers but the UNSC had the maintenance, I would put UNSC. That is how close this battle was. If any one of those little sections there would have been there, the UNSC would have won most of the times out of 10. That is how close this fight was. If I had another section or another part, we'd know who'd win this fight. But as of right now, this would be a tie. There's no strict winner. Either of them could win a fight. But next time, when I record the final one as the third one that has been finally put to it as ideas, what would happen if the United Planets was to fight the UNSC? We're just going to see who would win in that fight and what would happen if the fight commenced. See you guys then, but before I do leave, I also want to make sure I do a lot I do a lot of YouTube short videos. So I plan on creating more YouTube short videos today, not just any time given today. I have a lot of people that are meeting me on Discord that are talking to me. They're having a great time. I'm very glad to meet you guys in person. I'd love to meet you guys in person, but at the same time, many of the people that watch my videos are other worlds apart. So I can't meet every single one of you. But for those who are still interested in this faction fight series, thank Blacktop. I'm putting his name in. Thank Blacktop for the idea. Had he not told me that idea, I wouldn't have done this. I asked him, hey, is this a good idea? He says, why don't you try it? Maybe it'll work. Well, the last video got pretty good amounts of views compared to the other ones I've gotten. Not only that, but it's received some comments that have been very interesting to read, to say the least, mostly from Blacktop. But next time, we will be discussing what happens when the UNSC goes toe-to-toe with the galactic superpower known as the United Planets. We'll just see. And the fourth one will be a special. It'll be a special. And in a short today, I will tell you what the fourth one's going to be about. So I hope you guys liked today's video. Don't even got to subscribe. Don't even got to hit a like button. Don't got to do shit. If you just like it, tell me in the comments that you like it. If you don't like it, yeah, it's your opinion. You don't got to like it. So I'm not going to tell you otherwise. You're not going to make me feel bad. Not many things can really make me feel bad anymore, considering the fact what hell I've been through for the last 2 years. Literally nothing can make me feel any worse than what I did when I first got into college. There's no way anything can make me feel worse than when the first time I got into college. I don't think anything. But thank you guys so much for paying attention to this video. Make sure, if you want to see more of this stuff, I'm not even going to ask you to hit the like or subscribe button or notification squad. I'm not even going to ask you to do that. Just watch the next one if you feel so inclined to do so. And I will be giving you guys the special. But today, I have finally reached some type of verdict. People have been always asking me about this. Like, hey, who would win in this hypothetical fight between the new coalition and the United Nations Space Command? Who would win? Well, today I finally got it settled. Neither. It'd be most likely a tie. So there would be no victory for either side. Millions would be killed in the resulting fight. So I don't know who would win, because one side has less people, but it has way better technology. But the other side has a lot of people and can quickly amass soldiers. But at the beginning of the war, the UNSC has more soldiers that are well trained, that have actually been in experienced conflict due to the Callisto Wars. So that is why it is so hard. It is so hard to tell you who would realistically win. I know you fucking is. So, final verdict. I will see you guys in just a few days.